Good day, sir. I am Phil Grace Taylaran. I will discuss about the hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. What is thyroid gland? Thyroid gland, it is a small organ shaped like a butterfly that is wrapped around the trachea in the front of the neck. It aids in the regulation of the hormone T3, a triiodothyronine, and the T4 metabolism, the thyroxine. When the thyroid gland doesn't work correctly, it may trigger a medical condition in the body. Too much thyroid hormone can result in hyperthyroidism, and too little thyroid hormone can result in hypothyroidism. Biochemical pathway for thyroid hormone synthesis and release. Thyroid hormone synthesis. Thyroid hormones are amine hormones, so they are synthesized from the amino acid tyrosine. The thyroid gland is the primary synthetic organ of thyroid hormones, producing some 20 times more T4 than T3. T4 is then converted to either T3 or RT3 by the enzyme iodinase, which is present in all tissues of the body. Thyroid hormone synthesis, the iodine transport. It is a large amount of iodine are required for synthesis of physiological levels of thyroid hormones to generate sufficient concentration of iodine. The ionic form of atom, iodide, is actively transported from the bloodstream into the follicular lumen by the follicular epithelial cells. Consequently, iodide is highly concentrated in the thyroid gland compared to the rest of the body. The thyroglobulin synthesis is a protein that includes a high concentration of tyrosine amino acids, which are converted into individual thyroid hormone molecules. Thyroglobulin is produced by follicular epithelial cells and secreted into the follicular lumen. The thyroid peroxidase is an enzyme found in the acellular colloid of the follicular lumen that catalyzes many important reactions. Thyroid peroxidase produces 12 first by oxidizing one ion in the follicular lumen. The thyroid peroxidase organizes the form 12 by covalent linking into the tyrosine residues in thyroglobulin. This results in either a single or double iodinated tyrosine species known as monoiodotyrosine and diotyrosine respectively. And peroxidase then combines MET and DIT residues to generate T4 or T3 species within the thyroglobulin protein, a process termed coupling. T4 is generated by combining two DIT residue, while T3 is generated by combining one DIT residue with one MIT residue. Importantly, peroxidase is much more efficient at combining of two DIT residues, and thus generation of T4 occurs much more readily, explaining why the thyroid gland primarily produces T4 rather than T3. In endocytosis of peroxidase process thyroglobulin. It is a process thyroglobulin is then endocytosis by follicular epithelial cells on regulated basis. Whenever the thyroid gland is stimulated to release thyroid hormone into the circulation. Importantly, peroxidase process thyroglobulin with the follicle can act as reservoir for thyroid hormones in the absence of stimulation for hormone release. In release of T4 and T3 from thyroglobulin, it is broken down by lysosomes after being endocytose into the follicular epithelial cell, releasing attached T4, T3, MIT, and DIT. The T4 and T3 are then released from the follicular epithelial cells and circulated. Iodine atoms from MIT and DIT are salvaged and returned to the follicular lumen as one negative. The synthesis, regulation, and rules of T4 and T3. In T3 is more metabolically active hormone than T4. It is regulated by feedback loops such that as T3 levels increase, they prevent the release of both thyrotropin-releasing hormone from the hypothalamus and thyroid-stimulating hormone from the body. In T4, it synthesized in thyroid follicular cells like T3, T4 is regulated by a feedback loop to prevent the release of thyrotropin-releasing hormone and thyroid-stimulating hormone, and it is the only hormone secreted into the bloodstream by the thyroid glands. Let's go to the hypothyroidism. It is a condition that develops when thyroid gland is produced too much thyroid hormones. Treatment: carbimazole or propylthiouracil. The mechanism of action is block and replace. A high dose of the drug stops the thyroid gland from working altogether, and this is combined with thyroid hormone replacement doses. In pregnancy, this treatment is not safe. The mechanism of action of titration regime. Enough drug is given to suppress the thyroid gland partially to keep the body natural thyroid hormone levels within a normal range. The adverse effect: although rashes and pruritus are common, they can also be treated with antihistamines. That most serious rare side effect is bone marrow suppression, which causes neutropenia and agranulocytosis. The contraindication: history of acute pancreatitis, severe hepatic impairment, serious pre-existing hematological condition. That's all po, sir. Thank you.